no, goat
Oh,
versus
goat
big
versus goat?
Bigger goat.
Oh, okay.
Skip, you know what I did today? I did something for the first time in almost 5 years.
What?
I cut my TV on in the dressing room.
Yep. And?
I had to see it. I had to see somebody take the walk of shame and get booted out of DC.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you watched.
For all of us. Guys, speaking of those goats, and you guys may not agree who is the GOAT, but Aaron Rodgers has plenty of history with Ndamukong Suh dating back to when the defensive lineman was in Detroit. Earlier this year, Rodgers said he was surprised he didn't have a conversation with Suh post-game when they squared off Week 6. Fast forward to this week when Rodgers was again asked about Suh, and he said he doesn't think there will be much more talking. Take a listen for yourself.
What's your plan for Ndamukong Suh? Are you going to try to maybe butter him up pregame? What are we doing? Because I know last time you thought you were going to have a meeting at the buses just to kind of hug it out. Where are we at right now?
I completely forgot about this storyline. I am pumped. This is awesome.
I don't think there'll be a whole lot of conversation this week.
Damn.
I wouldn't expect a whole lot of conversation.
Got a little grin on his face. Shannon, is Suh in Rodgers' head?
No, both guys will come to play. Aaron Rodgers has been to a Super Bowl. This is as close as Ndamukong Suh is. No, he went to the. Did he go? Was he on that team? With the Rams. So Skip, look. These opportunities don't come very often, and so this is what I know. Being a talker, Skip, as you get to the playoffs and the further you get along, the less talking you do. You're super focused because during the regular season, Skip, we lose a game, you get into a chirp, and guess what? We play next Sunday, and then we're gonna play next Sunday. Or we might play the Monday. This is finite. This is final. You lose this game, you're going home. Everybody will be super locked in. There's a history, Skip. Remember, Suh started his career at Detroit. Yep. Aaron been in Green Bay his entire career, and the calf stomp. If I'm not mistaken, I think he got suspended for that. Didn't Suh get suspended or fined?
He got suspended for the first one.
Right, and so there is a history there. I don't think he's in there. And I think Aaron was saying, look, at the age we are, man, we're too old to be having this kind of beef, man. At the end of the game, let's get together. Or that's what he was thinking. Or that's what maybe he thought Suh was implying. They maybe had a little conversation before what transpired at the roughing the passer and the sack at the end of the game. So maybe Aaron thought something, and he said it, something got lost in translation. Well, there's nothing to be lost in translation. This is for an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. Nothing else need to be said. You don't have to be best friends. And sometimes, Skip, look, for me, if things get said, hey, bro, hey, sorry about that. Gotta let man later for you. Okay, cool, I'm done with it. I ain't finna keep begging you. Hey, I'm sorry I said what I said and keep begging about it so you can forgive me. I tried to apologize. You didn't accept it. I'm moving on, whether you are or not. So I don't think he's in Aaron's head. Aaron wanted to like, look, at 30, Aaron, 37, Suh's probably at least 33, 34, 30.
He just turned 34 in January.
So,
I mean, early January.
Right.
Yep.
So he's like, hey, but no, Skip, this is, you can tell Aaron is like locked in, Skip. He's like, yeah, I don't think there'll be a whole lot of conversation because normally, Skip, if you notice when he's on this show, he's really comfortable. You can see how he sits, Skip. He always sitting back and he just, you ask him a question, not only will he answer the question, but he'll expand on it. This is like, yeah, nah, I don't think there'll be a whole lot of conversation going on in this game. He's super focused, he's super locked in, he's ready to go. And I want my 3 cases. As a matter of fact, I want another case just for this.
4. Good.
4 cases.
Done. I got 7 points for 4 cases.
Yeah, you sure do. You sure do.
Thank you very much. And on top of that, I've got Ndamukong Suh in Aaron Rodgers' head. I believe that Suh has been in his head for about 10 years, going back to those early days in Detroit. I remind everybody, Suh was the 2nd overall pick in 2010. Just for the quick record here, I warned everybody, just because I'm a University of Oklahoma fan, it's not that I always loved the quarterback. And I said Sam Bradford was going to be a problem in pro football. I said, do not take him Rams. And what happened? He's long gone from football, and Suh is still going strong as he just turns 34 in his 11th season.
He's not what he once was, Skip, but he's still a very, very solid defensive player. Can play the run, can get after your quarterback a little bit.
I believe he is real close to what he used to be. He is the ultimate run stuffer, and he will get after quarterbacks when you sort of least expect it because he rushes from the inside, obviously. And he really got after Aaron back on October 18th at Tampa. Remember, Aaron went down 4 times in that game. Final score 38-10, Tampa.
Right.
And that was by far the most Aaron has been gotten after all year long.
Right.
So let's, as you point up, let's go back to the stomps. Let's go back to 2012 Thanksgiving Day game. And obviously Aaron's playing in the game. It's at Detroit, as it always is in the first game on Thanksgiving. And if we could see what happens, this is Evan Dietrich Smith, the guard for the Packers, and Suh just stomps him. And that cost Suh a suspension, and it should have.
Yes.
Okay, I'm good with that one. But then if we fast forward a couple of years to Lambeau Field, 2014, we get this one on Aaron. He just steps on his foot on the back of it.
He's there with his ankle.
Yeah.
He like, you back there? I ain't know you was back there.
Oh, my ankle! I don't think it really hurt.
Man, that's a 300-pound man with spikes on. You know that hurt.
So that detonated a suspension, but he appealed that one, and it finally became a $70,000 fine.
Right.
So that cost $70,000, that little back stomp, okay? So that's what starts to get in Aaron's head, because this guy is a bad you-know-what.
Yeah.
This guy
takes something. He dirty. You know he dirty.
He takes nothing from nobody, and he will play gray area football. He'll play, I'll give you that, he'll play dirty football.
Exactly.
Because he doesn't care. And if Aaron thinks that he's ever going to hug it out with Suh, Suh doesn't care if he's Aaron Rodgers or Mr. Rodgers or whatever Rodgers he is. No. He does not care.
If you ain't on his team, he ain't got time for you.
And he will talk to you in different ways than Shannon Sharpe talks. Shannon Sharpe talked loudly.
Yeah.
Suh talks down in here. He gets up in your face and he talks like this. And as Suh has said many times, I got some good quotes here. You know, he says, I don't know if he likes me or not, and I don't care. I don't even need a response from him. My response is when he's getting up from the ground. That's all that I'm excited for. I like to give him a nice little loss, which I've done plenty of times. That's the ultimate goal, to get that quarterback on the ground. Okay, so we get that. So he doesn't care. And I think it really rankles Aaron Rodgers, who has some LeBron in him. I always can. They remind me a lot of each other. Obviously, in the NBA, LeBron wants to be everybody's friend. So what happened with Draymond and LeBron when Draymond got suspended, as you well remember, for Game 5 back at Golden State as they came from 3-1 down? Well, Draymond had lost his mind in Game 4, a game that they were winning handily, right? And that was at Cleveland. And he called him the B word, and then they go up the court, and they get tangled up, and Draymond kicks him in the midsection. What does he think's going to happen? Well, finally, Kiki Vandeweghe, the director of suspensions and punishment, he just said, I can't take that. That's too much, because you loudly called him the B word, and then you kick him in the midsection.
But, Skip, remember that Draymond had 2 other incidents where I think he had kicked Steven Adams.
He had.
In the private, he kicked a couple of other guys.
He had a track record. So he's suspended for a crucial, what became a turning point, Game 5. And then the next thing I know, in the offseason, they become business partners on what's called uninterrupted. Okay, so that's LeBron, you know, like, I'm going to keep my friends close, but my enemies closer. That's his motto. So I think that Aaron, after the game back in October, and just to remind everybody what happened, but he wanted to, as you say, bury the hatchet. And all Suh wants to do is bury the hatchet in the back of his head, because that's how he operates. But just to remind everybody of what happened on October 18th. That was a hot weather game. It was 88 degrees in Tampa. So it's going to be the flip side of what we're about to see up in Lambeau. But Aaron drove them quickly in the first possession for a field goal. Brady goes 3 and out, and then here they come again, an 80-yard drive in 11 plays, and Aaron scrambled from the 7-yard line and thought he had scored. And then what did he do when he thought he had scored? If we could see
did the McCringleberry.
He thinks he's in. They actually ruled him down at the 1, and he does the Hingle McCringleberry. Thank you, Key and Peele, for that. And he does it, and Suh sees it, and Suh's not happy about it. So, again, then Aaron Jones scores on the next play, because it's just like a half yard. So now it's 10-0. And then what happens? Brady goes 7 and out. The next time, they get the ball back. So it's first and 10 at their 20, but then they get it to third and 10 at their 22 is where it is. And he throws an out route to Devontae, and Jamel Dean jumps it and takes it 32 yards to the house. Here we go, little out route, Jamel Dean. That was maybe the most shocking play of the year in the NFL to me. I just didn't see that one coming because Aaron just doesn't throw many interceptions, especially of that variety. Okay, so then they get the ball right back, and it becomes 3rd and 3 at the 32. And what happens? He goes to the other side to Devontae, and Mike Edwards, the second-year safety, it's a ball that gets tipped, but he comes up with it, and he almost houses it. He goes 37 yards down to the 2, and all of a sudden, it's back to 14-10 Tampa on the way to a rout.
Right.
So the next 8 times that Aaron Rodgers has the football, they go 7 times punt, but the other time was at the end of the half. And if we could see what happened in this one, there are 2 plays right at the end of the half. The first one is what's called unnecessary roughness or roughing the passer, where Suh just knocks him down, okay? But it was also...
Rodgers' head.
No, both guys will come to play. Aaron Rodgers has been to a Super Bowl. This is as close as Ndamukong Suh is. No, he went to the. Did he go? Was he on that team? With the Rams. So Skip, look. These opportunities don't come very often, and so this is what I know. Being a talker, Skip, as you get to the playoffs and the further you get along, the less talking you do. You're super focused because during the regular season, Skip.